Have you ever watched an American movie? You turn off the subtitles. You smile. And then, after just 10 seconds, you think, wait, what did they just say? You know these words. You studied English. You passed your exams. But suddenly, it feels like everyone is speaking a completely different language. If that has happened to you, you are not alone. And here's something that might surprise you. You are not bad at English. You're simply hearing real American English, not textbook English. Maybe you learned I am going to eat now. But one afternoon in Times Square, New York, a friend smiles and says, I'm gonna grab a bite. Wanna come? You understand every word. But together, they sound completely new. And your brain says, did I miss something? No! You didn't miss anything. Your ears are just learning a new rhythm. And today, we're going to learn that rhythm. Step by step. Slowly. Together. Because here's the good news. You do not need to live in America. You do not need to speak very fast. You do not need a perfect accent. You only need to notice a few small patterns. The same patterns Americans use every single day. By the end of this podcast, movies will feel clearer. Podcasts will feel easier. And real conversations will feel much less scary. Not because people suddenly speak slowly, but because you finally understand why they sound different. So, make yourself comfortable. Maybe you're drinking coffee, walking outside, relaxing after work, or getting ready for bed. Wherever you are, I'm really happy you're here. Welcome to Learn English Unleashed. I'm Emma. And today, we're not studying English. We're living it. A quick story. Let me tell you about someone called Daniel. Daniel had been learning English for almost 2 years. Grammar? Pretty good. Vocabulary? Also good. But one summer, he visited Chicago. On his first morning, he walked into a small cafe near Millennium Park. The person behind the counter smiled and asked something. Daniel froze. He heard sounds, but not words. His heart started beating faster. He smiled politely, ordered his drink, and walked away thinking, maybe my English isn't good enough. Sound familiar? Maybe you felt the same. Here's the truth. Daniel's English wasn't the problem. The problem was something almost nobody teaches. We'll discover that secret in just a few minutes. But first, I want to ask you something. Have you ever listened to Americans and thought, why are they speaking so fast? Think about that question. Because the answer might completely change the way you learn English. And trust me, it's much simpler than you think. Tiny challenge. Let's try something together. Say this slowly. I want to go. Perfect. Now listen to natural American English. I want to go. Again. I want to go. One more time. I want to go. Did you notice? The meaning didn't change. The feeling became softer, smoother, more natural. That's exactly what we're going to practice today. Not difficult grammar. Not long vocabulary lists. Just real English. The kind you hear in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Seattle, Toronto, London, Sydney, and many other places every day. And here's a little secret. By the end of today's episode, you'll start hearing English differently. Not because Americans changed the way they speak, but because your ears will finally know what to listen for. So don't go anywhere. Because next, I'm going to show you why Americans don't actually speak faster. It only sounds that way. And once you understand that one secret, everything starts becoming much easier. Let's continue. Welcome back. A few moments ago, I asked you a question. Why do Americans sound so fast? Maybe you thought they speak too quickly. That seems like the answer. But it's actually not. Here's the surprise. Most Americans are not speaking much faster than you. They're speaking more smoothly. And that changes everything. Imagine you're standing in Grand Central Terminal, New York. People are walking to work. Some have coffee. Some are checking their phones. You hear someone say, "What you doing later?" Your brain starts searching. Where is "what are you doing later?" But it never finds it. Why? Because your brain is listening for textbook English. Your ears expect, "What are you doing later?" But real life doesn't sound like that. Americans connect the words. They don't stop after every word. They let the sentence flow like water. That's why it sounds different. Not impossible. Just connected. Take a slow breath. Because once you hear the pattern, you can't unhear it. A simple picture. Imagine a necklace. Each bead is a word. In a textbook, the beads are separate. In real conversation, the beads touch each other. The sentence becomes one smooth line. That's called connected speech. And don't worry, you don't need to remember that name. You only need to hear it.
Mini story. Santa Monica Pier.
Picture this. It's a warm afternoon at Santa Monica Pier in California. Families are laughing. Children are eating ice cream. Someone is playing music. A tourist walks to a snack stand. The worker smiles. "Hey, what can I get ya?" The tourist understands. "Hey." Then everything becomes a blur. But if we slow it down, what can I get you? Now, say it naturally. What can I get ya? Did you hear it? Nothing disappeared. The words simply joined together. That's what happens every single day. Practice 1. Train your ears. Let's play a small game. I'll say the textbook version first, then the real American version. Ready? Did you eat? Jeet yet? Again. Did you eat? Jeet yet? Excellent. One more. What are you doing? What you doing? Again. What you doing? Very nice. Don't worry if it still feels strange. Your ears are learning. And that's exactly how fluency begins. Problem. Then the solution. Many learners say, "Emma, I know the words, but I still can't understand Americans." That's a real problem. Here's the solution. Stop listening for single words. Start listening for the whole idea. Think of English like music. When you hear your favorite song, do you think about every single note?
No.
You enjoy the rhythm. American English works the same way. Listen to the rhythm first. The words become clearer later. A morning in Seattle. Imagine it's raining in Seattle. You walk into a small coffee shop. Someone behind you smiles. You want to grab a seat? Maybe your brain searches for you want to. Instead, you hear.
Wanna.
That's normal. Because want to becomes wanna. Not because people are lazy. Because it's comfortable, smooth, natural. 30-second listening challenge. Ready? Just listen. Don't translate. Don't panic. Simply enjoy the sound. I'm gonna head out. Again. I'm gonna head out. What does it mean? It simply means I'm going to leave. That's all. See? Real English is often easier than it first sounds. But wait. Here's something interesting. Connected speech is only one piece of the puzzle. There's another habit Americans use every day. A habit you'll hear in airports, coffee shops, parks, baseball games, shopping malls, and even while walking along Miami Beach, Bondi Beach in Sydney, or the Vancouver seawall. It's only one small word, but Americans use it hundreds of times every day. When you start using it, your English immediately sounds more natural. Can you guess what it is? We'll practice it together next. And I promise, after that practice, you'll start sounding less like a textbook and more like someone having a relaxed conversation with a friend. So stay with me. The next practice might become your favorite part of today's podcast. Let's keep going. Welcome back. Before we begin, I want you to remember one sentence. Americans don't always use shorter words. They use smoother words. That's the secret. If you understand this, movies,
Podcasts.
friends, even strangers will suddenly become much easier to understand. Let's start with a question. Have you ever spoken English like this? I am going to buy something before I go home. Is it correct? Absolutely. Is it natural? Not in most everyday conversations. Now imagine you're walking through Pike Place Market in Seattle. A friend looks at you and smiles. I'm gonna pick up a few things.
Wanna come?
That's real life.
Simple.
Relaxed. Friendly. Notice something important. Nobody is trying to sound impressive. They're simply trying to sound comfortable. And that's exactly what we're going to practice. Many learners think, I must speak perfect English. That thought creates pressure. Pressure creates fear. And fear stops speaking. So here's today's solution. Forget perfect. Aim for natural. That's how confidence grows. 2-minute smooth English routine. Only 2 minutes. That's all. Step 1. Read one sentence slowly. Step 2. Say it again, but connect the words. Step 3. Smile while speaking. Yes. Really? A small smile relaxes your voice. And relaxed voices sound more natural. Repeat after me. Ready? Slow first, then natural. I am going to call her later. Now. I'm going to call her later. Excellent. Again. I'm going to call her later. Very good. Next one. Do you want to watch the game? Now. Do you want to watch the game? One more time. Want to watch the game? Nice. Can you feel the difference? Less effort. More flow.
Mini story, London.
Imagine you're walking near Covent Garden in London. Street musicians are playing. People are carrying shopping bags. Your friend checks the time. We're gonna miss the train. Nobody says, we are going to miss the train. Not because it's wrong. Because everyday conversations move naturally. Your goal isn't to copy every accent. Your goal is to recognize the pattern. Once you hear it, you'll hear it everywhere. A common mistake. Here's a mistake many learners make. They memorize hundreds of words, but they never memorize small everyday chunks. For example, instead of learning only the word leave, learn the whole idea. I'm gonna head out. Instead of learning eat, learn let's grab a bite. Instead of learning wait, learn hang on a sec. Your brain remembers stories better than single words. That's why native speakers think in chunks, not dictionaries. Mini challenge. You're at Miami Beach. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you're walking along Miami Beach. The weather is warm. You hear music. You stop at a small juice stand. The person smiles and asks, "What can I get ya?" How would you answer? Try this. I'm gonna have a mango smoothie. Again. I'm gonna have a mango smoothie. Perfect. Short.
Natural.
Easy. Here's what's going to happen if you practice like this for just 5 minutes a day. One day, you'll watch a movie. Someone will say, "Want to grab a bite?" And instead of feeling confused, you'll smile. Because your brain won't translate anymore. It will simply understand. That's a wonderful feeling. And you're getting closer to it. But we're not finished. There's another reason learners sound too formal. It's not grammar. It's not pronunciation. It's the way they greet people. Textbooks teach, "Hello, how are you today?" Real life often sounds completely different. Imagine meeting someone in Toronto, Boston, Dublin, or Melbourne. The first sentence you hear probably won't be from your grammar book. So, what do people actually say? That's exactly what we'll explore next. And I think you'll start using these greetings the very same day. Let's keep going. Welcome back. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone walked up to you, smiled, and said, "Hello, how are you today?" Probably not very often. Because in real life, people usually sound much more relaxed. And here's something important. Most greetings are not real questions. They're simply a friendly way to say, "Hi, it's nice to see you." Once you understand that, conversations become much easier and much less stressful. Mini story, Central Park, New York. Imagine it's a sunny Saturday morning. You're walking through Central Park. People are jogging. Children are laughing. Someone is walking a friendly dog. You stop to buy a coffee. The barista smiles. Hey, how's it going? Don't panic. The barista is not asking for your life story. A simple answer is perfect. Pretty good, thanks. Doing well. Not bad. Can't complain. That's enough. The conversation feels warm. Easy.
Natural.
Problem, then the solution. Many learners hear, "What's up?" And they immediately think, "Up? Up where?" That's completely normal. Here's the solution. Don't translate every word. Understand the feeling. "What's up?" usually means, "How are you?" Or, "What's new?" Sometimes the answer is simply, "Not much." That's it. Short. Friendly. Comfortable. Practice. Repeat after me. I'll say the greeting. You answer naturally. Ready? How's it going? Pretty good. How about you? Excellent. Again. What's up? Not much. You? Perfect. How've you been? I've been great, thanks. Very nice. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you too. Beautiful. Notice something? None of these answers are long. Real conversations often begin with just a few easy words. Mini story, Toronto Harbor. Now let's travel to Toronto. You're walking near the waterfront. The sun is shining. People are riding bikes. A neighbor waves from across the street. Hey, long time no see. You don't need a perfect sentence. Just smile. Yeah, it's been a while.
Simple. Natural.
Friendly. That's real English. 3-minute greeting routine. Tomorrow morning, try this. Stand in front of a mirror. Smile. And practice 5 greetings. Not 20. Just 5. For example, hey. Morning. How's it going? Good to see you. Take care. Repeat each one 3 times. Not quickly. Smoothly. After 1 week, they'll start feeling automatic. That's exactly what we want.
Mini story. Melbourne Cafe.
Imagine you're in a small cafe in Melbourne. Someone is waiting in line beside you. They smile and say, "Busy morning." Notice something. They didn't ask, "Are you having a busy morning today?" They kept it short. You smile back.
Yeah, just a little.
And suddenly, you're having a real conversation. No difficult grammar. No pressure. Just connection. 30-second conversation challenge. Let's pretend we're meeting for the first time. I'll speak first. You answer out loud. Ready? Emma. Hey, how's your day going? Your turn. Wonderful. Now, Emma. Doing anything fun this weekend? Great.
One more.
Take care. See you around. See you. Excellent. You're not memorizing English anymore. You're living it. A small secret native speakers never think about. Native speakers don't wake up and think, "Today I'll use advanced vocabulary." They simply choose words that feel easy, comfortable,
Natural.
That's why short phrases are so powerful. They help conversations flow. And when conversations flow, confidence grows. Now here's something fascinating. Even if you use the right greetings, you might still sound different. Why? Because of one tiny sound. A sound hidden inside words like water, city, better. Most learners never notice it. But once you hear it, you'll start hearing it in movies.
podcast
At Hollywood Boulevard, Boston Common, Bondi Beach, Hyde Park, and almost everywhere English is spoken. And the best part? You can learn it in less than 5 minutes. So stay with me. Because next, I'll show you one small pronunciation secret that instantly makes American English sound softer, smoother, and much easier to understand. Let's continue. Welcome back. Can I tell you a little secret? Sometimes people understand every English word, but they still don't understand the sentence. Why? Because they are listening for letters, not for rhythm. And American English loves rhythm. Think about music. A good song doesn't stop after every word. It flows. American English does the same thing. So today, I'm going to show you one tiny sound. It's so small. But once you hear it, you'll notice it everywhere. Mini story, Boston Common. Imagine it's a cool autumn morning in Boston. Golden leaves are falling. People are walking with hot coffee. Two friends pass by you. One says, "I'll meet you by the fountain." The other replies, "Sounds good, see you in a little bit." Everything feels soft. Nothing sounds sharp. Nobody is trying to pronounce every letter perfectly. They're simply speaking comfortably. That's why it sounds so natural. The biggest mistake. Many learners say words like this.
water,
B, T.
pie.
Every letter is strong. Every sound is separate. It's correct. But it doesn't sound like everyday American conversation. Here's the solution. Don't hit every T. Let it become soft. Almost like a gentle D sound. Listen carefully. Water.
water,
Again.
water,
Very smooth. Now. Better.
better,
Again.
better.
Excellent.
One more. City, city.
Perfect. You're not changing the meaning. You're changing the rhythm. And rhythm is what makes speech feel natural. Practice time. Repeat after me. I'll say it slowly. Then naturally. Ready? Water.
water,
Great. Better.
better,
Excellent. Pretty.
pretty,
Nice.
little,
Little. Beautiful. Now put them into real sentences. Can I get a bottle of water? Again. Can I get a bottle of water? Very nice. That's a better idea. Now, naturally, that's a better idea. Can you hear the difference? It sounds softer,
friendlier.
more relaxed.
Mini story, Hollywood Boulevard.
Now let's travel to Los Angeles. You're walking along Hollywood Boulevard. Tourists are taking photos. Someone asks, "Do you know a better place to watch the sunset?" Did you notice? You don't really hear. Better. You hear?
better,
Nobody is thinking about grammar. They're simply talking. That's your goal too. Not perfection.
comfort. Emma's 3-minute rhythm routine.
Here's a simple routine you can use every day.
Minute 1,
Listen to one short sentence. Don't repeat. Just listen to the rhythm.
minute 2,
Repeat the same sentence 3 times. Copy the music. Not only the words.
minute 3,
Close your eyes. Say the sentence naturally. Imagine you're talking to a friend. That's it. 3 minutes. Every day. Small practice. Big results. 30-second rhythm challenge. Ready? Don't think. Just copy me. It's a pretty little city. Again. It's a pretty little city. One more time. Slowly. Smile while speaking. Excellent. Now another one. The water is better here. Natural version. The waiter is better here. Fantastic. You're already sounding smoother. Mini story. Bondi Beach, Sydney. Let's finish with one more scene. You're walking along Bondi Beach in Sydney. The waves are calm. People are enjoying the sunshine. A local smiles and says, "Beautiful day, isn't it?" You smile back. "Yeah, the waiter looks amazing today." Notice something? You didn't try to sound American. You simply spoke naturally. That's the real goal. One more secret. Here's something many learners don't know. Americans don't sound natural because they know more words. They sound natural because they relax while speaking. Relax your mouth. Relax your shoulders. Don't rush. A calm voice is easier to understand. And confidence grows one conversation at a time. Now imagine this. You're hungry. You're walking through Pike Place Market in Seattle, or a busy food truck street in Austin, or a small cafe near Covent Garden in London. You want to order food. But what do real people actually say? Not textbook English. Real everyday English. Should you say, "I would like to purchase a sandwich"? Or is there a much easier, friendlier way? That's exactly what we'll practice next. And I promise, after the next section, ordering food in English will feel simple, relaxed, and natural. Let's keep going. Let me ask you something. Have you ever practiced a sentence like this? "Excuse me, I would like to order 1 sandwich and 1 cup of coffee, please." Is it correct? Yes. Is it wrong? Not at all. But here's the interesting part. Walk into a busy coffee shop in Seattle, a food truck in Austin, or a cafe near Covent Garden, London, and you'll probably hear something much simpler, much warmer, much more relaxed. Today, that's exactly what we're going to learn. Not restaurant English from a textbook, but real conversations that happen every single day. Mini story, Pike Place Market, Seattle. It's an early Saturday morning. You're walking through Pike Place Market. Fresh flowers. Fresh bread. The smell of roasted coffee. A small cafe catches your eye. You walk inside. The barista smiles. Hey, what can I get started for you? Take a deep breath.
No panic.
No translating. Just smile. You can simply say, "Can I get a large latte, please?" That's it. Short.
Natural.
Friendly. The common problem. Many learners stop speaking because they're busy building the perfect sentence. Meanwhile, the conversation has already moved on. Here's today's solution. Keep your sentences short. Real conversations don't need perfect grammar. They need clear ideas. Remember, simple English creates smooth conversations. Practice 4.
Calf conversation.
Let's practice together. I'll be the barista. You answer me. Ready? Emma. Morning. What can I get for you? Your turn. Maybe you said, "Can I get a cappuccino, please?" Excellent. Now, Emma. Anything else? Maybe you answered, "That's all, thanks." Perfect. Again. Slowly. Naturally. Very nice. Mini story. Chicago food truck. Now we're in Chicago. Near Navy Pier. Music is playing. People are laughing. A colorful food truck is busy. The server smiles. What are you in the mood for? Maybe you've never heard that sentence. Don't worry. It simply means, "What would you like to eat?" A natural answer could be, "I'll try the chicken tacos." Or, "Can I get the veggie wrap?" Easy. Comfortable.
喲，這道先，他稱呼嘅你才定拿你的引擎咯。
Emma's 5-minute speaking routine. Here's today's practice.
Minute 1
Read today's conversation slowly.
Minute 2
Repeat after me. Copy my rhythm.
Minute 3
Change one word. Coffee becomes tea. Tea becomes lemonade. Wrap becomes salad. Make the sentence yours.
Minute 4
Close your eyes. Imagine you're standing in the cafe. Speak without reading.
Minute 5
Record yourself. Listen once. Don't look for mistakes. Look for improvement. Small improvements every day. Become big confidence later. Mini story. Vancouver seawall. Now let's visit Vancouver. You're walking beside the water. The view is beautiful. You stop at a small snack stand. The person smiles. Need a hand? Maybe you think, "A hand?"
No.
They're not talking about your hand. They simply mean, "Can I help you?" English is full of little expressions like this. Learn the idea. Not every single word. 30-second challenge. Ready? No reading. Just listening and repeating. Can I get a turkey sandwich? Again. Can I get a turkey sandwich? Excellent. Next. That's all for me, thanks. Again. That's all for me, thanks. Beautiful. Now, could I have some water? Natural American conversation often sounds like, "Can I get some water?" Both are correct. One simply sounds more relaxed in many everyday situations. Mini story, Melbourne laneways. You're exploring the famous laneways in Melbourne. A tiny bakery smells amazing. You finally decide to go inside. The baker smiles. Good choice, fresh out of the oven. You smile back. Looks great, I'll take one. Notice something. You didn't need difficult words. You only needed confidence. And confidence grows. One simple conversation at a time.
A secret most learners miss.
Many people think fluency means using big words. It doesn't. Fluency means answering comfortably, without fear, without overthinking, without translating every sentence. That's how real conversations feel. Curiosity loop. Now imagine you're at JFK Airport in New York, or Heathrow Airport in London, or waiting for a train at Toronto Union Station. Someone suddenly asks, "Are you heading downtown?" Or, "Is this seat taken?" Would you know what to say? Don't worry. In our next part, we're leaving the cafe and stepping into the real world. We'll practice English for airports, hotels, trains, taxis, beaches, and famous places, the kind of conversations travelers hear every day. And by the end of that journey, you'll feel ready to speak wherever life takes you. Let's continue. Part 7. Practice 5. Travel English that real people actually use. Emma. Welcome back. Let me ask you something. Imagine tomorrow morning, you wake up, look at your phone, and see an exciting message. Your flight is ready. How would you feel? Excited? Maybe a little nervous? Now imagine you're flying to San Francisco for the very first time. You studied English for months. You know many words. But then, someone at the airport smiles and says, "You all set?" Your brain freezes. Set? Set for what? Don't worry. That happens to thousands of learners. Here's today's lesson. Travel English isn't difficult. It's simply different. Mini story. San Francisco International Airport. You pull your suitcase. People are checking departure boards. A friendly airport worker smiles. "Morning, where are you headed today?" Take a deep breath. You don't need a long answer. Simply say, "I'm flying to Vancouver." Or, "I'm heading to London." That's natural. Short. Confident. Problem, then the solution. Many learners think, "I need perfect grammar before I travel." No. Here's the truth. Travel conversations are usually very short. Simple answers are enough. Instead of thinking, "I must create a perfect sentence," think, "I only need to communicate." That small mindset change removes so much pressure. Mini story. London Underground. Now we've arrived in London. You're standing inside the famous Underground. The train is busy. A passenger smiles. "Is this seat taken?" Simple answer. "No, go ahead." Or, "Yes, my friend is sitting there." Done. Conversation finished. Easy. Practice time. Repeat after me. Ready? I'll speak first. You answer. Emma. "Excuse me, is this seat taken?" Your turn. Excellent. Again. Emma. Which stop are you getting off? Beautiful.
One more.
Emma. Have a great trip. Thanks. You too. Perfect. Emma's 4-minute travel routine? Tomorrow. Practice this.
Minute 1.
Say hello. Introduce yourself.
Minute 2.
Ask for directions. Which way is the station?
Minute 3.
Order something simple. Can I get a bottle of water?
Minute 4.
Say goodbye naturally. Have a good one. Only 4 minutes. Every day. Your confidence will slowly grow.
Mini story.
Barcelona Beach. The sun is shining. You're walking near Barceloneta Beach. Someone asks, "Mind if I sit here?" Notice something. They didn't say, "Do you object if I occupy this seat?" Real English chooses easy words. You smile. Not at all. That's enough. Friendly. Relaxed.
Mini story.
Berlin. It's evening. You're waiting for the train. A local looks at the map. Then asks, "Need any help?" Simple answer. "I think I'm okay, thanks." Or, "Actually, yes. Which train goes downtown?" See? One question. One answer. Conversation complete. 30-second travel challenge. Let's imagine. You're checking into a hotel. Ready? Welcome. Can I have your name, please? Great. Now, here's your room key. You smile. Thank you. Excellent.
One more.
Enjoy your stay. Thanks. I'm really looking forward to it. Fantastic. You're sounding more relaxed already. A little secret. Here's something I learned after talking with many English learners. The people who improve fastest are not the people who know the most grammar. They're the people who keep talking, even with small mistakes. Because every conversation teaches something new. So don't wait for perfect English. Start with real English. Start today. Curiosity loop. We've practiced airports, trains,
Hotels.
travel. But real life isn't only about traveling. What about a sunny afternoon in a park? A weekend at the beach? Shopping with friends? A music festival? Or meeting someone while walking through a beautiful city? Those little conversations happen every day. And they're often the easiest way to make new friends. That's exactly where we're going next. In the next part, we'll walk through parks, beaches, shopping streets, and famous places across different countries. And you'll discover how real conversations begin naturally. Let's keep going. Can I tell you something? Some of the best English conversations don't happen in classrooms. They don't even happen at work. They happen while you're walking, while you're waiting, while you're enjoying life. That's why today, we're going somewhere beautiful. Not to study, just to listen, notice, and enjoy. Because that's exactly how real English grows. A sunny morning. Nice beach. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine you're walking along nice beach. The sea is calm. The air feels fresh. People are jogging. Others are reading a book on the sand. You sit down for a moment. A woman smiles and asks, "Mind if I sit here?" 4 simple words. But many learners freeze. Why? Because they translate every word. Instead, listen to the feeling. She's simply asking, "Is this seat free?" You smile. "Of course, go ahead." That's it. A conversation begins. With kindness. Not perfect English. A small secret. Here's something I've noticed. Friendly people don't use difficult English. They use comfortable English. That's why your goal isn't to sound impressive. Your goal is to make people feel comfortable talking with you. And that's much easier than you think. A walk through Phoenix Park.
Dublin.
Now, let's fly to Dublin. You're walking through Phoenix Park. Children are playing football. Families are enjoying a picnic. A golden dog runs past you. Its owner laughs, then says, "Sorry about that." Do you need a long answer?
No.
Just smile. "No worries." Or, "It's all good." Short. Warm. Natural. Those tiny moments happen every day. And every tiny conversation builds confidence. Say it with me. Don't rush. Just copy my rhythm. No worries. Again. No worries. Beautiful. Now. You're good. One more time. You're good. Excellent. Sometimes 2 words are enough. An afternoon in Lisbon. The famous yellow tram moves slowly through the streets. You step inside. It's busy. An older man stands beside you. He smiles. Then asks, "First time here?"
Simple question.
Simple answer. "Yeah, I'm really enjoying it." Notice something. You didn't need advanced vocabulary. You only needed confidence. Confidence grows. One easy conversation at a time. Beside the canals.
Amsterdam.
The evening sun reflects on the water. People are riding bicycles. A local points toward a bridge. Then says, "That's the best view in the city." Instead of answering with one word, try something a little warmer. "Really? I'll check it out." That's a phrase Americans and many English speakers use all the time. I'll check it out. It means, I'm going to have a look. Easy.
Natural.
Useful. 30-second micro challenge. Imagine you're walking with me. I'll speak. You answer. Ready? Emma. Beautiful weather today, isn't it? Your turn. Wonderful. Now, have you been here before? Excellent. One last one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks. You too. Perfect. Can you feel it? You're not memorizing. You're responding. That's real communication. A quiet evening.
Prague.
You're standing on Charles Bridge. Musicians are playing softly. The sky is turning orange. A traveler beside you smiles. Then says, "This place never gets old." At first, you think they're talking about age. But they're not. They mean, this place is always beautiful. English is full of expressions like this. Don't translate. Feel the meaning. That's how native speakers listen. Sunset. Perth. Now we're in Perth. The beach is peaceful. People are watching the sun disappear into the ocean. Nobody is in a hurry. A couple walks past. One says, "What a day." Only 3 words. But those 3 words say so much. Sometimes, real English is wonderfully simple. And that's why I always tell you, don't chase difficult words. Master the easy ones. Use them naturally. Again and again. One thought before we leave. If you're still thinking, "Emma, I'm afraid I'll make mistakes." Let me tell you something. Every confident English speaker has made hundreds of mistakes. The difference is, they kept talking. So promise yourself something today. Don't wait until your English is perfect. Use the English you already have. Because every small conversation is another step forward. Before we finish, I want to tell you a true-to-life story. It's about a learner who arrived in Chicago feeling nervous, visited Miami Beach with more confidence, walked through Times Square smiling, and by the time they reached London, something happened that completely changed the way they saw their English. It wasn't perfect grammar. It wasn't a perfect accent. It was one simple conversation that they almost didn't start. And I can't wait to share that story with you. So take a deep breath. Before we finish today's podcast, I'd love to tell you a story. Not about perfect English. Not about perfect grammar. But about something much more important. The moment someone stopped being afraid. Maybe you'll see a little of yourself in this story. Day 1. Chicago. A learner named Mia landed in Chicago on a cool spring morning. She had spent years learning English. She knew grammar. She knew vocabulary. She had watched hundreds of videos. But as she stepped outside the airport, one thought kept repeating in her mind. What if I don't understand anyone? Maybe you've had that same thought. I know I have. So Mia made a quiet promise to herself. I don't need to speak perfectly today. I only need one small conversation. That's all. Just one. A small coffee shop. She found a little coffee shop near Millennium Park. Her heart was beating fast. When it was finally her turn, the barista smiled. Morning, what can I get for you? For 1 second, her mind went completely blank. Then she remembered something from our podcast. Keep it simple. She smiled and said, Can I get a hot chocolate, please? The barista smiled back. You got it. That was it. 10 seconds. One simple conversation. But when Mia walked outside, she wasn't smiling because of the drink. She was smiling because she had just proved something to herself. She could do it. A different feeling. Miami Beach. A few days later, she was walking along Miami Beach. The sun was warm. Music was playing. People were laughing. She stopped to watch the ocean. A woman standing nearby smiled and said, Beautiful day, isn't it? A week earlier, Mia might have just smiled and stayed quiet. But not this time. She answered, "Yeah, it's amazing." They talked for less than a minute. About the weather, the beach, travel, nothing difficult. No big words. But when the conversation ended, Mia realized something. Confidence doesn't arrive first. Action comes first. Then confidence quietly follows. One evening in New York. Later that week, she visited Times Square. Bright lights, busy streets, music everywhere. She wanted directions to Central Park. Normally, she would open a map on her phone. Instead, she asked a local, "Excuse me, which way is Central Park?" The man smiled. "Just keep going that way, then turn left." Mia understood everything. Not every single word, but the message. And that's what real communication is. You don't need to catch 100%. You only need to understand enough to keep the conversation moving. A surprise in London. A month later, Mia arrived in London. She crossed Tower Bridge early in the morning, stopped for breakfast. The server smiled and asked, "You all right?" Months earlier, that question would have confused her. Am I all right? Do I look sick? Now she smiled. Yeah, thanks. How are you? The conversation continued naturally. Not because her English had become perfect, because her ears had changed. She was finally listening for meaning. Instead of translating every word, the biggest lesson. On her flight home, Mia wrote one sentence in her notebook. Real English isn't faster. It's friendlier. That sentence changed everything. She stopped chasing perfect grammar. She started enjoying conversations. One greeting. One question. One smile at a time. Your turn. Now let me ask you something. Imagine tomorrow. You're walking through Hyde Park, sitting beside the river in Brisbane, watching the sunset in Auckland, or exploring a small street in Rome. Someone smiles and says, "Hey, how's it going?" What will you do? Will you stay silent, like you always have? Or will you smile, take a deep breath, and answer with the English you already know? I hope you choose the second one, because that's where your story begins. One final thought before our goodbye. Remember this. You don't become confident, then start speaking. You start speaking, then you become confident. Every movie you watch, every podcast you listen to, every small conversation, every little mistake, they're all helping you move forward. Slowly, naturally. One day, you'll suddenly realize something. The English that once sounded impossible now feels familiar. And when that day comes, I hope you'll remember this moment. Because today, you didn't just learn English. You started trusting yourself. Well, we made it. And before we say goodbye, can I ask you one last question? Do you remember how today's journey started? Maybe you felt nervous. Maybe you thought, real American English is too fast for me. But look at you now. You've walked through busy streets, relaxed cafes, sunny beaches, quiet parks,
airports,
train stations, and friendly neighborhoods. From New York to Chicago. From Seattle to Miami. From London to Dublin. From Paris to Rome. From Amsterdam to Sydney. And in every place, you discovered the same truth. Real English isn't about difficult words. It's about real people. Let's remember the 5 biggest lessons. Lesson 1. Americans don't always speak faster. They connect their words. So next time you hear something that sounds confusing, don't panic. Listen to the rhythm first. The meaning comes next. Lesson 2. Short sentences are powerful. Instead of trying to sound perfect, try to sound comfortable. Sometimes. Sounds good. No worries. I'll check it out. You got it. Are all you need. Lesson 3. Stop translating every word. Listen for the message. That's exactly what native speakers do. Lesson 4. Practice a little. Every single day. 5 minutes today. 5 minutes tomorrow. Small steps become big progress. Lesson 5. The biggest secret of all. Confidence isn't something you find. It's something you build. One conversation, one smile, one brave moment at a time. Emma's 5-minute daily routine. If you're wondering, what should I do tomorrow? Here's my favorite routine. Minute 1. Listen. Just enjoy. Don't worry if you miss words. Relax. Minute 2. Repeat one short sentence. Copy the rhythm, not just the pronunciation. Minute 3. Talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing. I'm making breakfast. I'm opening the window. I'm looking for my keys. Simple moments become speaking practice.
Minute 4.
Learn one new everyday phrase. Not 20. Just one. Then use it the same day. Minute 5. Smile. Take a deep breath. And say something in English without worrying about mistakes. That's your daily victory. One last story. Before I leave, I want you to imagine something. Maybe 1 year from now, you're walking through Central Park, or sitting beside the river in Brisbane, or enjoying the sunset near Santorini. A stranger smiles and starts a conversation. This time, you don't freeze. You don't search for grammar rules. You simply smile and answer. Not perfectly. Naturally. And suddenly, you realize something beautiful. The dream you once thought was impossible has quietly become part of your everyday life. Can you promise me something? Don't wait until your English feels perfect. Use it today. Speak to yourself. Speak to a friend. Speak while cooking. Speak while walking. Speak while making coffee. Every little conversation matters. Because fluency isn't built in one amazing day. It's built in hundreds of ordinary days. And those ordinary days start today. Before we say goodbye, if no one has told you this recently, I'm proud of you. Learning a language takes courage. Some days feel easy. Some days feel frustrating. That's completely normal. Keep going. even when progress feels slow. Because slow progress is still progress. And every time you press play, every time you practice, you're becoming a little stronger than yesterday. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly hope today's episode made English feel a little lighter, a little friendlier, and a lot more possible. Remember, you don't have to sound like everyone else. You just need to be understood. One sentence, one conversation, one day at a time. I'm Emma, and this is Learn English Unleashed. Take care of yourself. Keep listening. Keep smiling. And keep speaking English. Because your journey is only just beginning. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now, and have a wonderful day.